Hello again. This is the Voice Spotlight. Today we have another model, if you can believe it. Um, she actually came to us by way of Kim Tyler, but her story is different. No matter what you do and how you do it, your story is always going to be different. I'd like to introduce to you Carolyn Phillips. This is our first time seeing each other face to face, but I think she has a story to tell. So how are you doing? Do you want me to call you Carolyn or Miss Phillips?
Carolyn's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
How are you doing, Carolyn?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. All right. So we're going to be talking to you about your modeling, and we're
Okay.
going to talk to Carolyn, the model. But I'm going to give you a little bit to tell everybody about Carolyn, the person.
Carolyn, the person. Humble, grateful, and above all, I serve a mighty God.
There you go. There
That's
you go.
me.
That's what we're talking about. That's what
That's
we're
me.
talking about. Okay. So you have been modeling for 45 years?
Yes.
45 years since the age of 18.
Yes.
All right. So at the age of 18, you decided you wanted to be a model, or were you thrust into it, or how did it come about at the age of 18 you became a model?
Even in high school, just in general, I love clothes and the whole high school thing. Me fashion. In my yearbook, I said, this is what I'm going to be when I graduate at 18 in my yearbook as a model. And it came through. When I graduated at 18, I went to two modeling schools.
Okay. And were they local here in the city or
Yes,
okay.
local,
So you're saying when you graduated high school, and we're all Baltimore folks. So where did you graduate from?
from Howard High School
Okay.
in Howard County.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. So at age 18, you decided to make that move to become a model, and
Hmm.
you attended um, two modeling schools. Were they back to back, or
Um,
and why two modeling schools?
because the first modeling school didn't give me as a African American woman, black, nothing.
Okay.
So I ventured on after paying all that money, nothing came out of it. And you can imagine back then that's true.
And that's going to be one of my questions too, but continue.
And I tried a second modeling school. And these are top modeling schools. And as a as usual, it was a money thing.
So
Graduated from both and never did anything with them at all.
and we want to talk about that time. So you attended two schools, and even today, people will get you involved in different things, and
Mhm.
their focus is more on what's coming in than actually making or you being who you want to be. So let's go first as a black woman. How were black models treated then? We had black models. I remember some, but
Mhm.
at that time, how were black women treated as models? And there's a secondary part to that, but let's go with that one first.
Well, back then, it was not very many of us uh who attended in my class. And it was just a money thing back then. Um, we knew we had the potential to be a model, and they knew it too. But being African American women, young women, never been seen on the runway, no knowledge of being a model. So you think when you go to the top modeling schools, you're going to get what you need. But with us as Black young women, no, that
Okay.
was not the case. Back then, it was just a money thing.
Mhm. So you're 18, you're seeking out what you want to do in life. and you've told us how things were with the modeling school, which was, let's say that that's more local. So at the time, how was the industry as a whole outside of Baltimore, outside of Maryland? How was the industry as a whole toward black models?
Well, once it's really once I completed both schools because I wanted to get the knowledge of what takes place because this is all new to me. Um, I graduated from both schools and I decided with the models that I were modeling with, let's do our own thing as Black young women. And we formed, it was 12 of us, because we were not getting anywhere in the white industry at all.
Hmm.
No pictures, no runway, nothing. Um, each one of us had our own unique way of modeling, which was awesome. So we formed a modeling group called Mahogany Rainbows, and it was 12 of us. And we started doing shows for churches, nightclubs to get us out there and well known. And it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Then once we were out there and getting the recognition that we needed as a modeling group, it was great. Then this is where quote unquote the white industry steps in and they see our work and reach out to us and say, can you do this show? Can you do that show? That's when it all started. And it
So,
still was not easy.
oh, I'm sure, I'm sure. So when they reached out to you, and I'm love the story because now even with my prepared questions, you're bringing in more questions. So first of all, Mahogany Rainbows is a name because mahogany is a certain color and a rainbow is multicolors. I have to ask if you remember, how did you come up with mahogany rainbows?
I just um
I know things are organic sometimes, they just kind of
exactly.
happen.
I I cannot remember how I because I started it, so can't remember how I came up. And it had so I know it had something to do with the other Black women that were already established
Okay.
in the industry.
Okay.
And I just came up with that name for some reason. I don't can't
It's
remember.
unique.
Yes.
It's
And
unique.
it was not just one shade of Black. It was
Right,
all
right,
shades of
right.
us that were walking in the runway.
So you started Mahogany Rainbows, and as even now, when somebody starts something, depending on the reason that they take notice, they start to take notice. So when they started taking notice, was that attention because you were doing so well, or did they seek to add you to their own portfolio?
No, because we were doing so well.
Okay.
And I worked for the government in Howard County back then, 911. And everyone knew that I was a model back then in where I worked. And I proceeded to go and ask if I could do fashion shows on lunch break,
On lunch break.
on
Okay.
their lunch break for
All
an
right.
hour, fashion
Okay.
shows. So I would do summer and I would do winter. And it turned out to be more than I expected, which was great.
More in what way?
Um, that I was the acknowledgement of people. Then the word of mouth getting around now. Now we're getting around. Oh, you should see Mahogany, the models that we had at our luncheon, and then, back then, seeing us and seeing our work and how we modeled on the runway, then the shows people started reaching out. And word of mouth is a great thing, especially back then. It's a great thing. And that gave me the opportunity to all of us to go further
Okay.
by word of mouth.
So with modeling being the vehicle, your clothing is basically the tools.
Yeah.
So where did you obtain your clothing from? Was that something you guys put together yourselves, or
Um,
you got seamstress to do it for you?
I got um I worked with some designers or but mostly a lot of boutiques back then.
Okay.
And not a lot of black boutiques back then.
Mm,
It was uh white women that I knew that had boutiques in Ellicott City, and
okay.
we would use their clothing for the shows, and they would allow me to take the clothes and to shows. That
So it was not so much Afrocentric in nature as far as the clothing was. You just
exactly,
made it look better, I'm quite sure.
exactly, yeah,
Okay. All right.
exactly.
So, how long did the Mahogany Rainbows stay together?
Oh my goodness, trying to remember. Oh, I want to say maybe 5 years, well, around 5 years or so.
And was it
But then
then?
and that was because everybody started venturing out, um having children, um getting married, and we just all went our separate ways. But I continue on doing what I was doing,
Okay.
and which was great. People that I knew would put me out there on the runway back then.
Okay.
Different shows, um, it was just who I knew,
Okay.
who
So
I
you
knew.
basically managed yourself or selves. So, and I talked to Kim about, I know that back then everybody wanted to lock you in. And I'm speaking from a lot of things in the industry. I've collected comics since I was a young man, 7 years old, and I know
Mhm.
that some of the writers and artists, the major companies wanted to lock them down. And at some point, they ventured out and formed their own company, and some things became artists and writer created. So when the Rainbows decided to kind of let's say life came in different forms. Um, was it at when was that you decided to did you get with an agency or did you decide to captain your own ship?
I never had an agency. Wait a minute, the internet connection is unstable. It's seeing. Wait,
But you're
okay, there
good.
it is.
I can still see you. So
Okay.
yeah, you might be
Um,
good.
I never had an agent. I let me take that back. I signed with an agent at 60.
Age 60?
At 60. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
First time, yeah. And was my first and last time.
Okay.
Um, when you sign with an agent, you're just required to work for them only.
Mm-hmm.
And I was locked in for a year, something that because I never had one, so I did not know how it actually worked,
Okay.
even at the age of 60, because I've never had to have one. And I that was my first time, and they approached me. And I knew of this person, but I didn't know how it actually worked.
Okay.
And I signed and I was committed, which is something that what I should have done was have an attorney look documents over. That's an important thing to do in this industry. Look things over to make sure everything is up and up, which I didn't. I just, I got an agency now. I'm with an agent now, Phew, I'm gonna be phew, yes,
Right,
I'm gonna
right.
do this, I'm gonna do that, they're gonna do this. Not so. Not so. I will never ever do and not lock myself in. Never, ever.
So that was a one-time thing and a 1 year thing of going with
One
an
time
agency
thing.
itself.
And once that year was up, I finally got an attorney to get me out of everything. Yeah.
Okay. So the attorney got you out of it because it was longer than a year?
No, it was but I wanted him to make sure that what I was signing to get out of was correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And since you've basically been a free agent all your life
Yes,
to do the things
exactly.
that you're doing. So one of my earlier thoughts and questions were that, and you basically kind of spoke on it. You started at 18, you've been doing it for 45 years, and at some point, of course, life comes along, whether it's family, marriage, kids, or anything. But has that 45 years been a constant for you? Had you ever stepped away for any reason at
I
all?
stepped away when I had my child, and I stepped away for a while when I had my daughter. And then I started back. And I remember when I was doing shows off and on throughout that period, but I stepped away. When I turned 60, I did a casting for Miss America. And I was still doing it, but I was not really in the game as much in the modeling scene like I was in all the other years.
Mhm.
And I said, "Oh, I'm gonna try this because now I'm 60." And I said, I wonder if I will be selected at this age. And my sister went with me and I went to the casting. And really that's when I met the agent that signed me.
Okay.
And I did the casting for them, and they called me up to the desk, and I said okay, and they were probably going to tell me I'm too old for this because that back I'm too old. I'm on the runway 60. Okay, and it was a total opposite of what I thought was going to happen. They loved me, and they could believe that I was that age and still still modeling. And I made that show,
Okay.
and that was really phenomenal. And just to be accepted at 60 was great for me because I was still doing some castings, but because of that quote unquote number, I wasn't getting selected at
Gotcha.
all. I was not getting selected
So, and like I said, I love where we're going with this because then the question is coming through. So, has the fact that you represent and manage yourself, has that ever caused any speed bumps, issues with it? Because I guess that, like everybody wants to see your PhD or this and that, but you have some people that are just know what they're doing and how to do it. But has that been a hindrance, not having the signing with an agency?
because I am who I am. I know what I can do on the runway, and my runway speaks for me.
Hmm, okay.
It speaks for
So I've done some research. You sent me a number of pictures that I requested that you send me some pictures, but you have a Facebook page and I have, I've gone on there and I've seen you with a couple folks.
yeah.
Um, so I'm guessing through your modeling, you've met some celebrities, important people and such.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I saw you with Ray Lewis
Mm-hmm.
and was it the mayor? I think I seen you with the mayor,
The governor.
governor. Okay. So if you can name drop, who who do you think was or was there a celebrity that either meeting them or speaking to them left an impact with you?
Yes. Cynthia Bailey,
Okay.
um, who I just admire so much. um, Tahaje Henson,
Hmm.
who left a big, I met her, and when I walked in, you would have thought I was on the other end as being the celebrity. She was the celebrity that I'm going to see. But when I walked in, she made me feel like I was the celebrity coming in to see
She
her.
seems like that. She seems
Yes,
like that.
it was just she left and I told her I was honored, coming from you. I said, I'm a mom. She said, she said, you can, I know you're a model. And that was an honor. But my thing with me is I was not always saved. And now that I am saved, I worship a mighty God who has got me to where I am today. He gets all the victory, he gets all the glory first. And I'm grateful that he puts the people that I should have in my path, in my walk. And there's no one like him. And when someone says to me now, do you have an agent that's representing you? I said, yes, I do. Yes, I do have an agent who has kept me through all this career. But
Right,
at first I didn't know he was keeping me.
right.
But now I know who kept me through it all. And I said, it's God. And I look to him when I need answers, when I need decisions made. And when you trust him, he can take you to doors that I never in my life thought I would ever go through.
So you answered my question about the changes in you, without
Yes.
me even asking you. Um, but let's just say the industry. Um, and I don't being saved period sets you apart and in that industry. But yeah, let's go ahead with the question. So, um, what changes? I won't say biggest changes. We won't put parenthesis on that. What changes have you seen in the industry that benefits? Let's go that benefits African American because then we won't keep it to women. Yeah, let's do it. What benefits have you seen in the industry that benefits or changes for African American women?
To, this is just my personal opinion. I don't see much because we have so many talented designers, photographers, models galore. And I don't think that as African Americans, we're getting the recognition that
Still,
we
really.
need still. That's my opinion. Still. It's still to me a fighting battle. Just like the industry is starting and has started changing now when it comes to height, age, size, and so forth. It still needs to get better. Uh, there should not be a limitation to a model when they turn a certain age, and that's what I'm pushing. Um, I'm still the same model at 50, 40, 60, and now 70. My work has not changed. I have not changed gracing the runway, but that number has changed, and it should not be that way.
And I just recent not well I've recently started buying from a black-owned company called Actively Black, and it was created by this gentleman Lanny Smith, and one of his advertisements say, we're not asking for a seat at the table, and I might be paraphrasing. He's talking about us making the table.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Mhm.
sounds like what has to happen in this industry.
Yes,
Instead of trying to get a seat at the existing, maybe we need to pull together and create a force to
exactly.
be dealt with. And then just like you created the mahogany rainbows, they'll come to you.
Hmm.
So,
And another thing is, women are women, and it should not be a separation of a age, of a height,
mhm,
of a size when you're in the modeling industry.
mhm,
If you're good at what you do, you should be accepted no matter what.
okay,
If you're bringing forth what they need, you have to overlook the other things that
right,
come along with you being who you are.
right. I know, and I know that the African American dollar is a powerful thing.
Hmm.
And we, like you say, we have some great designers. Some of the companies that I'm currently, purchasing from, I'm seeing designs that are Afrocentric, that,
Hmm.
you know, has that feel outside of the Tommy Hilfiger and where everybody else wears. So I'm thinking, and I know that we see a lot of us in ads and such, um, but that's probably still a minority even in that, because we're seeing more of it. I actually had spoke to Kim about we're seeing more people that look like us, that
Hmm. Hmm.
we're not so much GQ, but more relaxed and
Exactly.
like gap between the teeth and
Yes.
whatever it is. Um, but it seems like, and listening to you, that we still have a long way to go in
Hmm.
this particular industry. I'm not going to say, well, we can dominate. We can get into some sports and dominate, but it's still not ours. Uh,
And one thing I wanted to say, and I've said this at another podcast, the industry is big. It's big enough for everyone. And I find, and I've seen in my career that no one wants to share. And when I say that, it's all about themselves.
mhm,
And when I say that, I'm one that want to share. Sometimes I'm not able to share because it's just for me.
mhm,
And that's the way the industry is. But the industry in the modeling portion of it, it's so many opportunities for all of us.
mhm, mhm,
And when one model sees or gets something or castings and they see it come through, and if they see a posting or they get a posting or invite, me personally, I love to share that. And once I share it, it's up to the individual model if they choose to go to the castings or not. But at least you're giving all of them an opportunity. And I find that to be not what it should be. And sometimes you'll see a model in a show. Well, um, how did you get that show? And why didn't you share it with all your other models out there? And that's what I push that. I said because it's not just about me, it's about all of us.
right.
And all of us have a great opportunity.
And unfortunately, in our current environment,
Hmm.
um, we come from a people that had to pull together to make ends meet. And on our current environment is more, um, and sometimes it's even to the point of trying to push down somebody to make yourself.
Mm-hmm.
look better.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I have some thoughts on that, but we won't get on that. But I I I, I think it's time for us to get back to that.
Yes.
You know, the saying you said it takes a village to raise a child, but everybody, when somebody's trying to even show the child the right way to go, then that's a problem with the
Mm-hmm.
people that should have been teaching them all along, so they would
Mm-hmm.
not have put them in that predicament. But I do understand and hope that it does change
I
because
hope so.
I think that whether we're doing, and I just saw something recently about this black gentleman is now that he's in the tech industry. I had never heard his name as much as I like technology and stuff that he's you know at the top in the tech industry. But
Mm-hmm.
that's when we need to form these things. It would be great if we could form these alliances among each other, and then they come to us to purchase, to ship, to transport, to
Yes.
do all of that, showing that we can do it. If you think back to the Red Tails, that were the Tuskegee Airmen and flyers
Mm-hmm.
like that,
Mm-hmm.
um, that had amazing records, but it's like they want to wipe us from the face of the earth
Exactly.
sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
But our accomplishments and things that we've done is in everyday life. And if we hadn't did it, maybe you would have did it later, but it still came from us. So
And
let's,
then when all these top um fashion shows in New York Fashion Week, and you see all these white models, and we have so many awesome, talented, young black models that I work with, that I see, that can grace the runway, and more so better than them, that I
right?
when I'm watching it. And the part is, they don't get the opportunity. That's the issue. They
Mm.
don't get, they don't get the opportunity.
That's when we need to create our
And
own.
that's why we need to do
Right,
exactly. Exactly.
right.
Yeah,
That's when we need to create our own.
exactly.
So let's segue here into something we've talked about, and I haven't been downtown, and I don't know. But Kim said you were going to be on the billboard
Hmm.
downtown where she was. Have your
Hmm.
pictures been posted?
Not yet. Haven't
Not yet.
haven't gotten my email yet. Mm-mm, no.
And I'm hoping
Haven't
it
got
gets there before we we
Yes.
we air this particular segment because I'd like to go down and take
Yes.
some photos and
Yes.
so you've been doing this a while and you're in your 70s.
I'll be 75 this year.
75, and you sent me pictures, and I've seen your pictures on Facebook. And we're doing these things. Ernestine Shepherd. I used to work out with her years ago, and
Mhm.
she's a bodybuilder. And just like her, you're in great shape. So at going on 75, how do you keep yourself? Are you Well, let's see, how do you keep yourself fit? And are you keeping it fit for you or are you keeping it fit for the industry? That's a question.
Me first,
Okay.
and then the industry. Because I'm not going to let the industry dictate to me what I need to do to keep healthy.
Okay. All right.
Because the
And how,
industry will be there
right.
if I
So,
don't keep up with my health.
so what do you do to stay looking so young and so
Um, I do work out here in the house. I do that, and that's basically it. I don't have a set appetite as to what I need to eat. I eat anything that I want to eat.
wow. I
Yeah.
wish. I've been working on it. I've
Yes.
gotten to a goal and I'm still working to get off these 5 pounds that happened over the holiday, and it's now getting ready to go into March. But you eat what you want. You're not no set. You're not vegetarian. Just
Now we do, my husband and I, we eat chicken, fish, and turkey,
okay.
which is all the meats that we eat. But but I eat basically anything I want. And now this I have 40 days I'm doing a fasting. So I know I'm gonna lose a couple pounds because I'm doing it, for church, and I only have a meal. I have a big meal at 4 o'clock
At 4 o'clock.
every day.
Okay. So, age 18, going on 75, 45 years. Um, Usually I ask, what's the next step? But you've passed like two of those. So how long do you plan on modeling?
Um, as
Or is that
long
not
as
even a thought?
it's not long as God gives me my health and strength, I'm gonna do it as because that's my love and that's my joy. And I'm gonna do it until I can't do it anymore.
Okay. So I will ask the same thing that I ask of a lot of folks. And you know, especially with the way social media is proliferated out here,
Mhm.
um, there are people that do makeup flawlessly. My wife, she looks at a couple of the YouTube channels and they
Mm.
do the makeup and everything like that, but it's not modeling. Um, so there are different how do I want to say? There are different influences, there are different things that people want to do, but I'll ask you if whether you're young, medium age, and you've shown that mature people can do this too. If someone was, what would you tell someone that was interested in modeling?
Make sure you find the right person or persons to teach you the industry and teach you right in the industry. Make sure you trust, that's number one, the people that you're seeking out. Make sure they're legit in everything that they do before you even put up a dollar. Because it's so many different scams out here. I wouldn't want any young model, middle model, whatever, go through what I went through when I was 18, telling you you're going to be this and you're going to be that and not come through with it. Um, Make sure that this is really what they want to do. That's the number one. You really got to want to do this because it's not an easy task. It's a lot of hard work that you have to put in to prove yourself to the industry. It's a lot of hard work,
Right.
a lot of hard work. And get to know people.
Ally yourself with like-minded people and people that are there for the
For
reason that you need that you want to be in.
what to be. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So we're going to do a shameless plug. I don't know if it's a shameless plug, but we spoke briefly that you'll be flying out on the 13th of next month. Could you tell us about that event?
Yes. Oh, look, I posted this morning, countdown, 12 days. And I'm going to be flying out on March the 13th to LA for the Oscar fashion show and gala. And the fashion show will be that day, and then the gala will be that night. And I'm a VIP, which is off the chain. And
Okay.
I'm going to be modeling for a designer that I've never modeled for before. And then there are going to be like 100 celebrities that are going to be nominees for the Oscar. It's going to be the premiere of the Oscar itself at the gala. I am so grateful and humbled. that that God opened up another door for me. I was referred by someone to
Wow.
them
Okay.
in my work. And when they contacted me, I was like, is this for real? Because this is my second opportunity. Because and I was like, and I always like to investigate. And when I found out who referred me, I knew very well. And I was just grateful that they thought that much of me to refer me to the show.
So I know a lot of things happen in the backdrop, and that goes back to my federal days when we were assigned over in LA to cover the backgrounds of some things. Is there I I don't think the recording, if there is a recording, it's is it going to be that someone like me can see it, or is
Well, that's what I know that she's said that a lot of it's going to be televised. I do
okay.
know that much, but that's basically all that we know. Right now, all we are getting is what we're going to be doing as models right now. And I guess once we get there and we meet in the rehearsals and everything, then we'll find out the specifics of everything that's going to take place.
Well, I'm going to ask, even though we're new in in talking and stuff, please send me that information. Let me put it on our
Yes,
Facebook and YouTube pages, and
yes,
let's let the folks that are going to meet you in this Ashley post that they can see what you're doing out there.
yes, yes. And I said, I'm going to, and even in my church now, I said, please show us I said, I'm going to try to get in everything that I can.
Oh,
Yes,
good.
everything that I can.
So, I guess that one last question since you brought it up. So you're working with new designers. Are you going to be working with some other models that you're familiar with, or is this
On the model chat for the Oscar, I don't know any of them at all. We had to brief given, introduction on the model chat. And they're from all over, so I have no idea. The models that that are on there, I have never met.
so it just seems like it's
So this is going to be fun.
yeah, yeah. It seemed like it might
Mhm.
open some doors as well.
Exactly. Yeah, it's
Right,
going to be fun. Yeah.
great. So again, I'm glad I met you. I'm
You
glad
as
Kim
well, and thank you
introduced
for this
us.
opportunity.
And we're going to wish the best for you when you
Thank
fly
you.
out to LA. Again, as I always do, I'm hoping that someone will see this that will either become inspired, inspired, inspired to whether they decide to do modeling or just that train of thought and the way that you've done things might help
Mhm.
them in whatever chosen profession that they choose to get into.
Okay.
So again, we thank you.
Thank
We
you.
wish you the best when you
Thank
fly
you.
out.
Thank you.
And if you let us know where you're at, then we'll be there cheering you on and watching you
Okay, I
walk down the
sure will.
runway. All right. So I thank you again,
Thank you.
Carolyn, for coming on, and we wish the best for you.
Thank you.
All right. This is Carolyn Phillips and Anthony Spencer signing off for the Voice Spotlight.